Welcome back to Startups Track 4. This is week 5, where we have been going through your business plan and your business pitch. We are almost done with Track 4, and that means it's almost time for you to give your startup's presentation. While you will eventually have the opportunity to pitch your startup before a board of business leaders and potential investors, this first pitch will be in front of your startup's discipleship peers and mentors. It can be considered a practice pitch, but if your startup is a potential ministry for the sound, then you really should treat this pitch as the real deal, because all of the staff and leaders who are involved in our strategic decision-making process will be there for the presentations. Hopefully you've been polishing your business plan and your business pitch over the course of this track. You've been refining your mission, vision, and values. You've been honing in on your target markets. You've been developing a budget with both operating and capital expenses. But now it's time to show off all of your hard work and share your idea with the world. As an artist, I know how nerve-wracking it can be to pour your heart and your soul into a project and then really make yourself vulnerable by opening your work up to judgment and criticism. However, if everyone has been paying attention over the past 4 tracks, then we know that criticism can be constructive and that giving and receiving feedback is an essential part of the creative process. Now we just have an opportunity to practice everything that we've learned throughout Startups Discipleship. I also know that public speaking does not come naturally for most people, and this pitch requires public speaking. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, public speaking. We closed out track 3 with teaching on communication, both verbal and nonverbal, and if you need to, go back and re-listen to that teaching. I know that I need to hear things multiple times before they truly stick for me. This week, I just want to give you a few tips on public speaking to help ease into your startup's business pitch. Number 1, less is more. There is only so much information that a human being can retain in one sitting. And throughout generations, our attention spans have gotten shorter and shorter and shorter. When I first started preaching and teaching at the Sound, I would often give long format lectures. Sunday morning sermons would usually go for at least 45 minutes, sometimes well over an hour. Now, I teach in 7 to 10 minute segments, and we really only have about 3 segments per service, so a total of 20 to 30 minutes. Many of the teachings that you've heard throughout startups were part of our original discipleship program. These teachings, when done in person, though they were interactive, would often take 2 hours or more for each class. Now, they're about 10 minutes each, give or take. You don't need to speak for hours on end to tell the story of your startup. Keep it simple, keep it brief. This also is true for your keynote or PowerPoint presentation. Not only should you keep the visual simple and free of clutter, but you shouldn't need 100 slides to convey your concept. 10 to 15 should be just fine. Again, less is more. Number 2, understand dynamics. Now, I just want you to think about your favorite song or your favorite movie for a minute. It's not likely that the tone and the tempo is the same throughout your favorite song or your favorite movie. In a song, you may have a moderately tempoed verse with a booming chorus, and then you cut out all of the instruments and bring things down for a minute while you're in the bridge, only to build it all back up again for one last blow out your eardrums chorus. This is dynamics. If a song were monotone and of steady volume throughout, it would be incredibly boring. The same is true in public speaking. Alternate your tone, use pauses, and pacing. During key moments, slow things down and amplify your speech when needed. Then pause, let the point resonate, let the audience understand it before moving back into more of a conversational style of dialogue. If you're going through a very serious topic, you might want to make sure that your tone is serious. Otherwise, smile. Make sure you're being yourself throughout the entire presentation. Act like you're having a conversation with a colleague or friend. There is a time to project, and there's a time to whisper. There's a time to speak quickly and a time to just slow things down. There's a time to emphasize, and there's a time to let the moments breathe. So again, understand dynamics. And lastly, number 3, be confident. There's a great TED Talk on power posing that teaches us that if we stand in certain poses that make us look or feel bigger, then we can actually trick our brains into feeling more powerful, which in turn causes us to become more confident. Confidence is key, and the beauty here is that you can fake it till you make it. When pitching your startup, speak with confidence and command the room. We're all here to listen to you, to hear about your idea. We're all here because we value your voice, so use that voice. But also be confident in how you move. Body language can often speak louder than words. Don't just pace back and forth across the room. Be deliberate about your movements. Be intentional and decisive about how you stand and how you use your hands. This is your moment. Take hold of it and be confident in doing so. Now, at the end of your pitch, we do open up the floor for feedback. We give feedback in 2 phases. The first is by asking questions that help clarify your startup. Questions like, how did you come to those numbers in your budget? Or, have you considered other approaches? Or, what if you're not able to secure this certain aspect of your resources? How would you proceed in that situation? These questions are not meant to be a wet blanket on your fiery passion, but they are meant to help you see things from other angles and other perspectives. They're here to help identify pitfalls and struggles before your startup even gets up off the ground. And they are here to challenge you to think more creatively and critically as you solve problems in advance. The second phase of feedback for us is recommendations. This is where you are presented with other people's ideas, how they might solve the problems that you're facing, or maybe even share insights of how they have gone through similar endeavors in business or ministry. Both the questions and the recommendations are intended to help better your startup idea and your presentation of it. So come in with humility and be open to the development process. Remember, less is more, understand dynamics, and be confident. We all look forward to seeing all of the hard work that you've put in so far. And so keep putting on those final touches, keep polishing your business plan and your pitch, and then knock that presentation right out of the park.